Hey there, chicken people. More and more people are developing an interest in growing some of their own chicken food, whether it's to save money on rising feed costs, to avoid shortages and gain a bit of self reliance, or just to provide healthy food to your flock. Growing your own chicken feed is an awesome adventure.
And it's relatively easy. Today, we'll review 12 crops that are easy to grow and that can provide your chickens with nutritious food all 12 months of the year, even when it's cold and snowy outside. We're the Hobby Farm guys, Steve, Brian, and Eric, the big chicken himself, who's behind the scenes today. Don't go away. 12 crops to feed your chickens is coming up next.
Chickens were domesticated and kept as livestock as far back as 2000 BC. For over 4,000 years, humans have kept chickens. But commercial feeds only began appearing in the early 1900s. So for the past 125 years or so, chickens haven't always been raised on pellets and crumble.
Anyone who free ranges their birds or allows them access to a garden space can attest that chickens love plants. In fact, they enjoy many of the same plants that we do. In general, garden vegetables that we consider to be healthy for us are also healthy for chickens to eat. Additionally, some flowers that we find beautiful, chickens find delicious.
Just like us, chickens need a variety of foods to stay healthy and productive. No one food has everything a chicken needs to stay healthy. A commercial feed is convenient because somebody's already done all the combining and mixing of different ingredients to ensure a proper, balanced nutrition.
But some people don't care for certain ingredients that may be in the mix, or don't care for the price they have to pay for the convenience. So today, we'll go over 12 crops you can grow in your garden that make fantastic chicken food. Again, no one of these alone is a perfect food, but by combining a few of them, you'll find that you can greatly reduce your reliance on commercial feed, if not eliminate it altogether.
You can grow a few little things to supplement, or you can go big and grow the bulk of your chicken's food, depending on your goals. One of the challenges of growing your own chicken feed is that if, like us, you live somewhere with a long, cold winter, it's tough to grow much for a good chunk of the year. You will note that several of the crops we discuss are crops that are easy to store and feed in the wintertime, kind of like putting up hay for chickens. And with that, let's get on to the list.
And why not begin with a beautiful flower? Super easy to grow from seed, nasturtiums are not only beautiful, but they help deter pests in the garden as well. An excellent companion plant for all sorts of garden vegetables. They're incredibly easy to grow in virtually any soil, and for most of the year, and the flowers will bloom from spring until frost.
There are lots of claims about this flower, that it's a natural wormer, relieves stress, and lots more. We'll stick to those that have been scientifically proven. First, nasturtiums are a natural antibiotic. Several studies have shown nasturtium is more effective than commercial antibiotics in suppressing 5 different types of bacteria that are common to chickens.
And second, every part of the nasturtium plant is a rich source of vitamin C and A. Vitamin C helps create a strong immune system in chickens, and vitamin A is responsible for healthy growth and bone development. Nasturtium also contains trace elements chickens require, like potassium, phosphorus, and iron.
And let's continue with another beautiful but extremely useful flower, Calendula. Another great garden companion plant, Calendula repels not only many insect pests, but is reported to be a natural repellent of both mosquitoes and snakes as well. The bright yellow-orange flower is eaten by humans as well and is popular as a tea.
When chickens eat calendula, the beautiful bright orange of the flower is transferred to the egg yolk, making them a beautiful deep orange. Also high in vitamins A and C, calendula also provides vitamins D, E, and B, as well as anti-inflammatory and antiseptic properties. Easy to grow from seed, plant after the last frost, and they'll flower from summer through mid-fall. As you pick the flowers, the plant produces more.
Next, we have leafy greens. Leafy greens of all kinds are a healthy flock favorite in moderation. Lettuce, spinach, chard, and beet or turnip greens are favorites that are packed with nutrition. Many leafy greens grow quickly and can be harvested throughout the growing season. Dense in vitamins, leafy greens also provide minerals such as calcium, magnesium, iron, potassium, and phosphorus.
While leafy greens are nutritious, there are a couple of things to be aware of. Iceberg lettuce, for example, provides almost no nutritional value whatsoever, and due to the high water content, often leads to diarrhea in chickens, so it's best avoided. Also, Swiss chard, spinach, and beet greens all contain oxalic acid, which binds with calcium, so avoid feeding these crops too heavily to avoid a calcium deficiency in your birds.
And next up, we have the brassicas. While any of the brassicas, like broccoli, cauliflower, radishes, or Brussels sprouts, can be fed to and enjoyed by chickens, there are a couple that really stand out: kale and cabbage. Kale is packed with nutrition and it is a hearty vegetable that persists in cold weather better than most, allowing you more time to provide fresh greens to your flock.
Cabbages are also fairly cold hardy and they store well. You can pick cabbages in the fall and then provide them throughout the winter as a treat for the chickens. Hanging the cabbage by a rope not only provides chickens a nutritious meal, but activity to prevent boredom as well as they pick at the cabbage. Both cabbage and kale are packed with vitamins and minerals.
One thing to be aware of is that members of the brassica family contain glucosinolates, which can be toxic to livestock at high levels. These toxins are found in the greatest quantities in the seeds and young plants, and chickens would have to eat a significant quantity to really cause a problem. Feeding mature plants is generally considered safe for healthy chicken flocks, but be aware that excessive amounts could lead to some problems.
Good tip, Brian. Well, kale will get you fresh greens late into the season in cool areas. There will come a time where even that isn't going to survive outside in cold weather. So, how do you continue to provide fresh greens to your chickens over the cold of winter? Easier than you think. You sprout grain indoors and feed it to your chickens.
And you can sprout things grown in the garden during the summer. Start with seeds from plants like peas, corn, sunflowers, wheat, barley, oats, or soybeans. Soak them in a bucket of water for a day and then spread them into a container with drainage holes. Rinse daily to keep them moist for 5 to 6 days, when the sprouts will be 4 to 5 inches tall. Feed the entire thing, the sprouts and the root mass, to your chickens for a fresh, healthy, nutritious meal.
Yeah, I sprout wheat and barley and feed it to the chickens, turkeys, and pigs, and they love it. And they also all love the next plant on our list, comfrey. Often maligned, comfrey is commonly planted on hobby farms and homesteads because it has a variety of medicinal and gardening uses. Its long taproot burrows deeply into the soil and brings up nutrients from deep down, making them available to other plants in your garden when you compost the leaves.
Yeah, and it's not just your compost pile that benefits from all those mined vitamins and minerals. Chickens adore comfrey and is packed with nutrition for them. And comfrey is very high in protein and low in fiber, making it a great livestock feed. Be careful where you plant it, as it has a very deep taproot, and any piece of root that gets broken off or left behind will sprout a new plant. Hardy in zones 3 through 9, comfrey makes the list of must-haves for growing your own animal feed.
Next, we have an herb that many may be unfamiliar with. I confess, it's the only crop on our list that I don't currently grow and feed to my animals. But after learning more about it, I may just have to start. Chicory is high in vitamins and protein. Planted in pasture, chickens often pick out the chicory first, it being one of their favorites.
Chicory is a plant that you only need to plant once. When grazed, chicory will re-sprout from the roots, and depending on the variety, it will also self-seed. Chicory is especially valuable for free-ranging flocks during dry summers, when the feed value of grass and clover tends to fall. In layers, chicory produces darker yolks than other greens, and there are also studies linking chicory consumption to improved digestive health in broiler chickens.
The next plant to grow for chickens are berries. Your chickens will love berries of all kinds. Rich in antioxidants and bursting with flavor, berries make a fantastic treat. You can dry or freeze them and feed them over the winter as well. The other perk to growing berries for your chickens? You can steal a few yummy berries for yourself as well.
Yeah, and that's also true for our next crop. One of my favorites, melons. Melons like honeydew, cantaloupe, and watermelon are a great source of nutrition for your birds. However, it can be expensive to buy melons at the store, even when in season. But you can grow a large patch of melons in your garden inexpensively, and your chickens will stay well fed and hydrated from all the water in the fruits.
And along the same lines, we have our next crop to grow for chickens. Pumpkins. Pumpkins are another crop that chickens enjoy. And pumpkins can also be cured and stored to be fed to the flock in winter months. Pumpkin seeds also have anti-parasitic properties and are often recommended as a natural support to combat worms. Chickens happily eat the seeds, flesh, and rind of pumpkins.
And up next, we have corn. Sweet corn is a delicacy that your chicken will love. Corn scratch has been used for centuries as a feed for chickens. You can give them the ears right from the garden, or the leftovers after eating corn on the cob, or canning, where they're going to pick out every last tasty morsel that has escaped. In the heat of summer, you can freeze some corn kernels in a muffin tray with water and feed to the chickens as a cool treat.
And if you dry the corn, you can provide that back to the chickens in winter. Some dried corn scratch tossed to the chickens before bed is a high energy snack that they can digest overnight. And digestion generates heat and helps the chickens stay warm and cozy with a little corn in their bellies. And number 12 on our list is another superstar, sunflower seeds.
Sunflowers are not only fun to grow and beautiful to look at, but they produce an amazing amount of tasty chicken and people food as well. Once mature, you can simply break the head off and toss the whole thing into the chickens, or dry the seeds to store for year-round use.
Sunflower seeds pack a lot of nutrients and are a good source of protein as well. And who doesn't enjoy seeing a big, beautiful patch of sunflowers, knowing that come fall, they'll also turn into a big, beautiful bucket of feed you can feed your chickens all winter long.
So there you are, 12 crops you can grow that make excellent feed for chickens. With a little forethought and planning, you can even grow and set aside enough to get you through winter. Keep in mind, chickens need proper nutrition to perform and lay at peak efficiency. To make sure we don't have problems, we both like to keep a balanced layer feed in front of our flocks at all times.
But in my experience, if offered free-ranging opportunities and fresh produce, my chickens generally fill up on that first and then go through very little feed. Only occasionally do I need to top off the feeders. They get what they need from the crops that we've discussed.
So what are your favorite crops to grow for chickens? Share them below by leaving a comment. Remember to like the video so we can get recommended to others as well. We want everyone to learn how to feed their chickens from their own gardens. And if you've learned something and found the video helpful, why not subscribe to the channel so you can always find us?
And if this is the first time you've clicked on a Hobby Farm Guys video, congratulations. You found an awesome channel. Make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Until next time.
Yeah, keep on hobby farming.